energy. Some of you feel motivated. Scott, probably I will not stop you in between. You can take enough time. You may think, oh, everything is over. He will push me out. No, take your time. Scott, over to you. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Can everyone hear that? Yes. This is my slide, which I think might have got a bit of exposure earlier, but thank you very much. And to my other members of the panel, esteemed people, I'm very honoured to be here. I'd first of all like to say congratulations to Luciana and the team on what is an excellent piece of work. And I'd also like to make the point of the importance and to acknowledge the governments of both my government as well as other governments in getting behind this project, and the institutions of which I've read some work from a few years ago, as well as the business. And a shout out to both Longy and Renew, who are very dear members and partners of the Smart Energy Council, and they are doing leadership work in this area, which is great. But it's not enough, and we need to accelerate the work of this organisation and these pilots. We have 6 years and 2 days until the global carbon budget runs out to keep us at 1.5 degrees. 6 years and 2 days. We need to move much quicker, much bigger, much more effectively. But that's not with its own problems, which is the reason for my slide. South Australia, which is one of the 5 pilots within this piece of work, has gone in 16 years from 1% in energy coming from solar and wind to 80% coming from solar and wind. Last year, we went for 10 days with 100% renewable energy happening in South Australia. And just last month, it contributed to 85% of our Eastern Seaboard network, which is our national energy grid. But it's not without its problems, and my big message today is the importance to think about system security and system strength as this is occurring. Back in 2016, South Australia, this same state, went into system blank. The entire state system shut down for days. Now, that was due to a freak weather event. There are a number of factors that occurred, but the point that I'm making is we need to be much more focused on how we maintain system strength as we turn off the coal-fired power stations, as we turn off the fossil gas generating power stations, because they provide that inertia, those other parts of the system which are incredibly important to the system, which we need to work out how we're going to deal with that. Now, in South Australia again, some fantastic work with the batteries. You would have heard about the Elon Musk building a 100 megawatt battery in 100 days, which is a fantastic story. We now have over a dozen of those batteries being rolled out across the country. But we need to not just think about the storage aspects, but things like the inertia. We use synchronous condensers, which we've started to employ in that area, but that is not going to be enough in itself to keep us when we get to turning off the last couple of coal-fired power stations in our country. So we need to think about grid-forming inverters and the power electronics and the work that goes around that. Having the engineers, the scientists, the PhD students, the IT people being able to think about how this is going to be managed, because it's incredibly important, and I will guarantee you it is incredibly difficult. The other area which I just want to talk about is South Australia and why Australia is this living lab, as we call it, because of the massive penetration of solar panels and solar across our system. And there's a beautiful synergy with India, which is why I spend so much time here, because India's got this massive surge both in terms of solar, particularly in some states such as Gujarat, it's coming up to similar levels as ours, but also with EVs, electric vehicles, coming into the system, and how you manage that. South Australia, one of their ways of dealing with that has to be, we used to basically put a cap on your home solar panels in terms of how much they could export into the grid at 5 kilowatts. Now the problem was that for 98% of the time it didn't really matter if they exported more than 5 kilowatts. So now what we're doing in South Australia is putting two-way inverters, and the government, the distribution networks, the businesses are working together so we can much better manage the bringing on and managing of that system, balancing the system. And so now, provided a household or a business has a two-way inverter and has agreed to allow control to the operator for part of that time, they can export up to 10 kilowatts. So it's a win-win for everybody involved. And it's a terrific example of how we can use South Australia and the national energy market in Australia across the board, which is going to 82% for renewables by 2030, as a laboratory to try out these technologies to build the systems that we can roll out across this continent as well as the world. And so really that's what I want to focus on.
Oh, thank you very much. We're really excited to know. It's a live grid. Probably the demonstration site is already there in Australia, am I right? Very good. Okay. So, very quickly. Okay. So, the last one but not the least, apology from academia, utility, and industry. I think you have a question, please. Yeah.
Part is actually related to same weather pattern like we see heat wave coming in Europe now, which will eventually lead to the demand of like ceiling fans and the AC over there, which will ultimately lead to the demand generation for the power consumption. So how that is expected to be met by some of these green initiatives? Whatever
Scott, can you defend? Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I'll just make a couple of brief comments. I think it really is an issue fundamentally, and as I talked about South Australia with the system black and the heat waves and those things, I think what it means we need to diversify and integrate many more technologies. So, and particularly if we think about batteries and storage, for example, lithium ion is a great example, but there are other examples that are more suited to different weather and climates and those things. There's work which is being done by Professor Rashmi Gupta here, world leading. We need to do much more of that work on how we develop those technologies using those critical minerals that can survive in those extreme events.
Thank you. I'd like to say, okay, go last year.
Yeah. So again, when you talk about the climatic changes, there are expected changes. The structures are there. I'm sure Gormer Island, the sea is so ferocious, cyclone-proof structures. Cataclysm happens unexpected, we just cannot do anything. We may have to look at that appropriate ways of ROI.
Yes. So, thank you very much. Due to short of time, first of all, let us thank all the panelists with a huge round of applause. Okay. And as I understand, the main vision of Green Power Future Mission is to complement each other. The main objective was, instead of repeating all the process from the 0 level to the 100%, I think we have to really complement each other so that the alternative and efficient objectives can be achieved. Now, I could see from the panelists that this is happening, but again, to conclude with the word that Scott has started saying that it is not enough, means we are all active, no doubt about it, but you have to keep on rolling ourselves to make sure that we help each other and understand each other's requirement so that the end objective can be achieved and the Green Power Future Mission objective can be achieved significantly. Thank you very much to be part of this panel.
Thank you for your contribution. We got information from different parts of the world. Some very interesting information from projects in India and Australia and China and Spain. I think it was good to have all this information. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your support.